that's all right. That's all right.
Greetings and welcome to the 2020 Helen Hayes Awards virtual celebration. Thank you for joining with us here tonight from wherever you are. In addition to the nominees here in this virtual room, we have a community room filled with friends, family, colleagues, and the greater theater community that wanted to be present and support these nominees at this time. Let's get a look at our friends and colleagues waving. This unprecedented time, oh, there they are.
Hello.
Hi, this is all the community that's joining us. Hello.
You guys waving? Why not?
Yay. This unprecedented time has us all looking to connect in different ways. We're happy to be connected tonight for the Helen Hayes. Let me introduce Amy Austin, the president and CEO of Theater Washington, to share a message and greeting to the community.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amy Austin, she, hers, and welcome to the 36th Annual Helen Hayes Awards. This is what we are going to present the awards virtually for the first time. During this time, the theater community is suffering from the loss of performance in the theaters, loss of work, particularly for the independent theater makers, and loss of jobs in institutions. And during this time, we want to affirm the heightened need for equity, anti-racism, and anti-oppression in our theater institutions, and for our Black, Indigenous, and people of color artists. We recognize the need for change, and the need for change is not new, but long overdue. The way forward is one that requires learning and listening, and simply trusting that those who are most harmed by oppression and inequity know exactly what changes need to happen. Now is the time to really listen and support each other in making the very changes that too many have been asking for too long. While we take the time to celebrate our collective and collaborative work in the community, we want to thank the generous foundations, individuals, and sponsors who have supported the Helen Hayes Awards. We are celebrating for the first time without someone special. Our longtime board chair, theater booster, and lover, Victor Shargai. We thank Craig Pascal, Victor's husband, and the family of Victor Shargai, Eric and Heidi Muskoff, Frida, Evan, and Sarah Zing Eisenberg, and Sandy Hoffman. Thanks to our community sponsor, Andrew R. Ammerman, John and Meg Hauge, Monty Hoffman, the Share Fund, Vassar Browerman Group, Myrna Fawcett, Alan Savada and Will Stevenson, Michael Burke and Carl Smith, Scott Abelman and Debbie Schrager, and the host committee and board of directors of Theater Washington, and the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment led by director Angie Gates, and the Office of District of Columbia Arts and Humanities Commission, led by acting executive director Haran Sarika Baran. And before we begin, I want to make one important note for tonight. For the Outstanding Set Design Award includes a nomination for a projections and media design. We want to acknowledge that we have squeezed two different categories together under one award name. And although theater is a very collaborative process, the outstanding contributions by a projection and media designer is not the same as a set design. And to those designers who've been forced into this box or another box because we didn't have one for you, thank you for letting us know how, despite our best intention, this was not a way forward that served and honored you. We are sorry, and we'll reevaluate this coupling and others before the next Helen Hayes Award.
Thank you, Amy. We would like to introduce our special guests here today, the nominees for Outstanding Set Design in both the Helen and Hayes categories. We will do a brief round of introductions. Please tell us your name, your pronouns. As a way to celebrate first-time nominees, mention if this is your first nomination. If this is not your first time being nominated, let us know that as well. If this is not your first time being nominated, say one word to describe how you're feeling tonight. And when you're done, I'll pass it along to the next nominee.
Here, I'll demonstrate. My name is Naomi Jacobson. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a co-presenter today, and I'm calling in from what was the Piscataway Lands, Silver Spring, Maryland. I'll pass it on to Frank.
Hello, my name is Frank Britton, and my pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a co-presenter, and I'm calling from the land of the Piscataway peoples, now known as Washington, D.C. And again, when you're done, I'll pass it along to the next nominee. So first, I'll pass it along to Nefeli Antoniadis.
Hello, my name is Nefeli Antoniadis. I use she, her, hers pronouns. This is my first nomination, and I'm here in Washington, D.C. as well.
Thank you, Nefeli. I'll pass it along to Jessica Cancino.
Hello, my name is Jessica Cancino. My pronouns are she, her, hers. This is my first nomination, and I am in New York City.
Thank you, Jessica. I'll pass it along to AJ Gubin.
Hi, I'm AJ Gubin. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm down in Montrose, Virginia, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you this evening.
Thank you, AJ. I'll pass it along to David A. Hopkins.
My name is David A. Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am nominated for A Christmas Story at Toby's Dinner Theater. I am from Baltimore, Maryland, and I am anxious.
Thank you, David. I'll pass it along to Joseph Musamisi Jr.
Good evening, everyone. I am Joseph Musamisi, he, him, his. I am a DC native, but calling in from Frederick, Maryland. I was nominated for Crystal Creek Motel with the Flying V Theater, and I am just honored to be here with so many talented designers tonight.
Thank you, Joe. I'll pass it along to Jonathan Daum Robertson.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Daum Robertson. My pronouns are he, him, his. And I was nominated for Blood at the Root with Theater Alliance. And this is my first nomination, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'll pass it along to Deborah Booth.
Deborah is not here tonight, so we'll
I'll pass it along to Wilson Chin.
Hey everybody, it's Wilson Chin, he, him, his. This is my first nomination. I'm so excited. And I'm calling in from New York City.
Thank you, Wilson. I'll pass it along to Paul Tate DePoe III.
Everyone, Paul Tate DePoe. I am currently nominated for Grand Hotel. It's my second nomination for Helen Hayes. I'm honored. The first nomination was for Titanic at Signature Theater, and I'm very grateful and honored to be with all of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I'll pass it along to Milagros Ponce de Leon.
Hello, my name is Milagros Ponce de Leon. She, her, hers. I am nominated for Into the Woods at Force Theater and for Matilda along with Clint Allen at Olney Theater. And I'm excited tonight.
Thank you, Milagros. I'll pass it along to Clint Allen.
Hi, my name is Clint Allen, he, him, his. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm nominated for Matilda as a projection designer / set designer. And with the Olney Theater, and this is my first nomination.
Yay.
Thank you, Clint. I'll pass it along to Yorgos Sapas.
Hi, everyone. I'm Yorgos Sapas. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am nominated for The Brother's Eyes over at First Stage. This is not my first nomination, and I'm very happy to be here and be surrounded by everyone.
We also want to acknowledge our other partners in these projects. First Chair Interpreted Productions for providing American Sign Language interpretation, and Creative Video of Washington for providing technical audio and visual coordination. Welcome all.
The nominees in the Helen distinction for set design demonstrated immense care and outstanding skill in creating and crafting the world of each of their productions. Now, we would like to highlight each nominee for outstanding set design, Helen. In preparing for these calls, we were able to collect highlights from the biographies of the nominees or tributes from a colleague, mentor, collaborator whom the nominee recommended that spoke to their work this year.
For Nefeli Andoniadis, her nominated work on Avant-Garde Theater's production of Top Dog Underdog, the artistic and executive director Tom Pruitt had this to say. They wrote, "The hallmark of a truly great design is one big elegant gesture that captures the essence of the play and its environs." So preached the great Ming Cho Lee, and his protege, Nefeli Andoniadis, follows his dictates brilliantly. Who else would think to envelop actors and audience alike in walls made of corrugated cardboard as an emblem of the transient and ephemeral world of Top Dog Underdog and its characters just hanging on by a thread? The result was breathtakingly original and heartbreakingly beautiful, not to mention a stunning design that even a small theater like Avant-Garde could afford. Congrats.
For Jessica Cancino's nominated work on Monumental Theater's production of Daddy Longlegs, the director, Michael Windsor, had this to say. They wrote, "This designer is absolutely one of a kind. She is creative, collaborative, and a true visionary. She brings so much to the table to create a smart and cohesive world. Monumental is very lucky to have the incomparable Jess Cancino on our team. Congrats."
Go, Frank.
Oh, that's me again.
That's you again.
See, I'm still getting used to this.
Come on, AJ. We're with you.
AJ Gubin. AJ Gubin is the managing director of Constellation Theater Company alongside Allison Arkell Stockman as the founding artistic director. Allison had this to say of AJ's nominated work for their production of Little Shop of Horrors. They wrote, "AJ has designed sets for 36 shows since Constellation's opening in 2007, and he is a master of transforming the intimate source space. AJ loves live music, imaginative visual imagery, and theatrical innovation. He always embraces a challenge, and Little Shop's ever-expanding Killer Plant certainly was one. From the little dandelions poking through the sidewalk to the plants hanging from the ceiling, AJ immersed the audience into a both delightful and dangerous world. Congrats."
For David A. Hopkins' nominated work on Toby's Dinner Theater's production of A Christmas Story, the producer and choreographer Mark Minnick had this to say. They wrote, "David has worked in the area for many years. Name the position and David has done it. To have known him for so long and have been a part of both productions he has been nominated for so far in his career is very exciting. David constantly transforms our intimate in-the-round setting, and it's often the smallest of details that shine the brightest. Congrats, David."
For Joseph Musumisi Jr.'s nominated work on the production of Flying Bee's Crystal Creek Motel, the showrunner for the production, Lee Libeskind, had this to say. They wrote, "Joseph's set was the beating heart of Crystal Creek Motel. His ability to come up with a world that looks just like ours, but had the ability to transform into something one can only dream of was what helped to ground the show." Congrats, Joseph.
For Jonathan Dom Robertson's nominated work on Theater Alliance's production of Blood at the Root, the director Raymond Caldwell had this to say. They wrote, "Johnny is and will always be my go-to set designer. Perhaps it's because wir sind Deutsche und Amerikaner and share an aesthetic. Mostly it's because I can talk to Johnny about art for days on end. I trust his opinion and ideas because they are always in service to the story we're collectively telling. He makes the seeming impossible in design possible, and he does it effortlessly. One of my greatest comforts during tech, he is the quiet arbiter of truth, the person that talks me off the cliff and reassures me that we'll get there. He's one of my favorite collaborators and one of my favorite friends. Ich liebe dich, homie."
Yeah, such a talented group of nominees. Congrats again. It's now time to reveal who is the recipient of the 2020 award. And the recipients for Outstanding Set Design, Helen, is Nefeli Andoniadis, Top Dog Underdog Avant-Garde Theater.
Thank you.
Hey.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I was feeling relatively relaxed and now I'm kind of nervous having a moment to speak. I actually was born in Washington, D.C. I moved away when I went to college and I was gone for many years, a few decades in fact. And all that time I worked, I was able to work as a theater designer across the country, but I had not worked in DC. I returned to DC recently for family and to reconnect. And I have been so grateful to start to begin to get to know the theater community here and already see familiar faces sort of crossing paths and building these extraordinary networks. This city changed a lot in the years that I lived far away, and it's been a great privilege to get to know it all over again. So I'm grateful for this. And in this time, this very strange time we're living in, through the world of Zoom, I'm grateful to Theater Washington for putting this together and giving us opportunities to stay connected. I don't know of another way to get to know people, to connect to community, and to share, examine, question what's important in our world and what matters for me than working as a theater artist. It is a way to collaborate, and this production was deeply, deeply collaborative. I am thankful to Avant-Garde, to Tom Pruitt, to the director and the design team, who were amazing, as well as to our remarkable actors. Yeah, it was quite an event. I just want to mention the technical director on this particular production, Ralph Derbyshire, who took on the challenge of not only building a set of cardboard boxes, but also locating all of those cardboard boxes, which involved a lot of recycling efforts. So I look forward to the day when we can be together again in person and reinvent a more, continue to connect and reinvent a more equitable and just way forward for all of us. And I miss you all. I miss getting to see people in person. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Designing multimedia and sets for theatrical productions requires imagination and skill on equal level. Designers must balance the needs for the production with a vision for shaping the world inhabited by the characters and the story. At this time, we would like to highlight each nominee for Outstanding Set Design, Hayes.
For Deborah Booth's nominated work on Shakespeare Theatre's production of Richard III, the director David Muse had this to say. They wrote, "Deb is the real deal and one of my favorite collaborators. She gets scale, color, materiality, restraint, and practicality. I think her Richard set was a marvel, a place dripping with menace. I'm pleased for her and this well-deserved nomination. Congrats."
Wilson Chin's nominated work on Only Theater Center's production of Cabaret, the director Alan Paul had this to say. They wrote, "I loved working with Wilson Chin because of his imaginative design eye. Working on old musicals is a challenge, and often designers recreate some version of the show's original design. With Cabaret, Wilson created a completely different world, and the Kit Kat Club became a gorgeously decadent escape from the bitter reality of Berlin in the 30s. Wilson also transformed the Only space with a terrific staircase that stretched into the audience and gave us some exciting staging opportunities. Wilson's wonderful set made the show feel fresh and gave the production power and focus."
For Paul Tate DePoe III's nominated work on Signature Theater's production of Grand Hotel, their dear friend and mentor, Derek McLean, had this to say. They wrote, "If Paul DePoe wasn't such a generous person, he'd be super irritating because he is both dapper and brilliant. His work is bold and adventurous while always being deeply thoughtful. The range of his work, from a moody, poetic A Little Night Music to the daring, envy-inciting Titanic, is vast. Paul's work theatricalizes and heightens every production, and I am honored to count him as a friend."
Milagros Ponce de Leon is nominated twice in this category tonight for her work on Only Theater Center's Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical and for Into the Woods at Ford's Theater. The director of Into the Woods, Peter Flynn, had this to say. They wrote, "Congratulations, Milagros. You created the most imaginative, robust, and beautiful world for Into the Woods, and your perseverance in finding the balance between dreams and reality was unstoppable, and you know what I mean. Our woods continued to become more and more enchanted and thrilling and scary and wonderful because of your eye, your collaboration, your spirit, and your care. Thank you and brava."
Clint Allen is nominated for his projections and media design alongside Milagros Ponce de Leon this evening for their collaboration on Only Theater Center's Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical. Milagros had this to say about Clint. They wrote, "I met Clint in 2017, and since then, I've been fortunate to collaborate with him on 3 productions, including Matilda. He has an incredible eye for detail and a love for storytelling and theater. He can pick a single corner, a tiny handkerchief, a small 5-inch air balloon on your set, or a full space, and bring it to life with precision and artistry. He is a tech wizard and an amazing collaborator who responds to your emails within the hour. I could not be any prouder or more thankful to share the set design nomination for Matilda with him." For Yorgos Sapas' nominated work on First Stage's production of The Brothers' Size, the director Jose Carrasquillo had this to say. They wrote, "Yorgos Sapas has been a friend and collaborator for 2 decades. His numerous designs showcase a rigorous body of work, keen on architectural exactness. His designs are, above all, spare, but that spareness is encrypted with every moment in the play. The strong visuals have an elegance born of Yorgos's European sensibility, but specifically a Greek theatrical tradition. His designs have the power to both transport and transform. I look forward to partnering with him on many more projects. He will no doubt fuel the process with his inspiring energy, visual artistry, and exacting standards that have become the hallmark of his extraordinary work. Congrats."
Thank you. Wow, all of the nominees displayed immense creativity and technical skill this year. It's now time to reveal who is the recipient of the 2020 award. And the recipient for Outstanding Set Design Haze is Paul Tate DePoe III's Grand Hotel Signature Theater.
Thank you very, 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 very much. I'm honored. It's amazing to be connected to all of my nominees, which I've heard of peripherally. I really only know Wilson Chin personally, but congratulations to all of you. I think thanks to the Helen Hayes for gathering us all and getting to know one another. To the Signature Theater, which has been
it's 7 o'clock.
The reason of me starting in DC. I work in New York, live in New York, but signature as a family for me. And it's opened doors for me to work in the DC community, which I am very, very grateful and very honored. So it's one of my favorite places, and I thank all of you. Thank you.
Yay! I'll agree with you. It is a wonderful favorite place for theater. Congrats to all the nominees this year. Thank you to everyone for joining with us virtually this year to celebrate the nominees for set design. It has been our pleasure to be with you in this virtual space. Tune back in for the next awards categories tonight: Outstanding Lead Performer in a Play, Haze, at 7:15, and Outstanding Lead Performer in a Musical, Haze, at 8 p.m.
Thanks, everyone. And don't forget to tune in for the video on September 25th. Congratulations again to all the nominees. You're spectacular. Your work is incredible. And we celebrate you tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.